everybody and welcome back to the Blossom Crochet channel. My name is Rebecca, and if this is your first time visiting, then make sure that you subscribe to the channel and click the little bell icon so that you get notified whenever I upload a new tutorial. Now in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you step by step how to make this really beautiful and really simple moss stitch square. So anyone who's followed my channel for a while will know that how much I absolutely adore the moss stitch. I love it in rows, I love it as a triangular shawl. So this one is the moss stitch square, or in the round, however you want to call it. And this is how it looks. So it's a really tight stitch. It's a brilliant one for baby blankets or larger blankets as well. It's definitely suitable for a beginner because all you need to know is 2 stitches. So you just need to know how to chain, and you need to know how to do a UK double, or obviously in the US they would be your single. So chains and doubles, and that is all you will need to create a beautiful moss stitch square. Now a lot of the blankets that I see with moss stitch tend to distort in the middle and twist. So in this tutorial I will show you how to stop that from happening. And yeah, as you can see, mine is perfectly square, there is no twisting. And also I think the join for each round is quite hidden as well. I don't think it's particularly noticeable. So if I just hold it up a little bit, there we go, that is how we look. For anyone who wants to know, the yarn that I've used for this particular blanket, obviously I've still not finished, I have quite a lot left, so it will get bigger. This is the Stylecraft Batik Swirl, and this is the shade called Meadow. So when you're doing the moss stitch, especially in the round like this one, definitely go up a hook size. So the recommended hook for this yarn is a 4mm, but I have actually used a 5mm, and you can see it's still really nice and tight, but it's got a much better drape and flexibility to it. If you use the actual recommended hook size, it's most likely going to be quite rigid, and obviously if you're using it for a baby blanket, that's not really what you want. So this is my multicoloured square one, and I've also got one that I started, oh gosh, 3 years ago now. So again, if you've followed me for a while, you will have seen this on my Instagram way back when. Like I say, it's at least 3 years ago, I think now. And yeah, this one's just done in a solid white, but with those beautiful flecks throughout. I will leave obviously the yarn information again, but I just wanted to show you how it looked in the different yarns. So they'd both be great for baby blankets, obviously. So anyway, let's just crack on. So as always, you're going to start with your slip knot on your hook. And to start with, we are going to chain 2. So yarn over, pull through, that's 1 and 2. And then we're going to work all of our first round into that very first chain. And so in this first chain, you want to start with a double crochet. So remember, I am using UK terms here, so please remember when you hear double crochet, if you're used to US terms, these are your single crochet. Exactly the same stitch, different names. So we're going to UK double, so yarn over and pull up. You'll have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through both. You then want to create a corner space. So your corner space is always going to be a chain 2. And then again, back into that first chain, you're going to put another double crochet. So yarn over and pull up, yarn over, pull through both. At the beginning, if you're really unsure, it might be worth popping a stitch marker into your chain 2 corner spaces each time you do it. Just so for the next round it's a little easier and there's no confusion for you. A new corner, so chain 2, and then again back into that same space, you'll do another double crochet. So we've now got 3 double crochets, chain 2 for another corner space, and then again back into that, you're going to put your final double crochet. So you've now got 4 double crochets. We want to make sure that we do our final chain 2 before we join to that very first double crochet that we did at the start of the round. So you've got double, corner, double corner, double corner. So you've got 4 double crochets and 4 chain 2 corner spaces. You're going to close with a slip stitch to the top of that very first double crochet that you did. So insert your hook through that double crochet, go through the whole of the stitch, making sure to get the V, yarn over, pull through both loops. Okay, so that is your starting square. We're going to turn our work so that straight away we are at a corner space. And it's straight away into your corner space you are going to put a double crochet. So straight in that corner space. You may want to pop a stitch marker in that first double crochet just so that you can always find it every time you come back around. So I will mark mine in a second, but I'm going to create my new corner with my chain 2, and I'm just going to pop that stitch marker into that very first double crochet that we did, just so that when we get back round it's really obvious for me. So we've got double crochet, chain 2, back into that same chain 2 corner space you're going to put another double crochet. So your corner spaces, so your chain 2 corner spaces will always have double crochet, chain 2, double crochet. So you always want to do a chain 1 to jump over a double crochet from the round below. So we've done a chain 1, we're going straight into our next chain 2 corner space with our double crochet, chain 2, same corner space, another double crochet. Again now, chain 1, skip the double crochet, and you're at your other corner space. So again, create your new corner with a double, chain 2, and double, chain 1 to go down the side, and then again we're at our final corner space, so you're going to work that as normal, double, chain 2, and double. Okay, so you can see we're pretty much back to where we started from now. We've just got this double crochet here that we need to jump over, so always remember to do your final chain 1, remove your stitch marker, and oops, and slip stitch to the top of where you've just removed your stitch marker from. So slip stitch to the top of that very first double of the round. So that is how you should look at this point. The beginning is the trickiest because it's fiddly, it's trickier to see your stitches. So we've slip stitched, again we're going to turn around, and straight away we have got a chain space. This time though it is not a corner space, we're actually working down our straight side. So straight into that chain 1 space you'll do a double crochet. Okay, pop your stitch marker in, and then you always know where your slip stitch needs to be at the end of the round. So we've done our double crochet, we want to chain 1 to skip across the top of this next double crochet, and we're at a corner chain 2 space. So into our corner space we will create our new corner with our double, chain 2, and double, all in that same space. Again we're going to work down our straight side, so chain 1, skip the next double crochet, and work a double crochet into that chain 1 space. Chain 1, skip that double crochet, and again we're at a corner space, so work your corner, so your double, chain 2, and double, all in the same space, and then chain 1, and you're going to work your straight side, so skip that next double crochet and double crochet into the chain 1 space, chain 1, again we're at our corner space. If you want to mark all of your corner spaces, as I said, with a stitch marker, you absolutely can do that, because I know it can get a little confusing at times until you really work it up. Chain 1, double crochet in the chain 1 space, chain 1, and we're at our final corner. So create your final corner, chain 1, we've got a double crochet here to skip, but we don't want any more double crochets down this side because we've already done the one that we need right at the beginning of the round. So you've done your chain 1, remove your stitch marker and slip stitch to the top of that stitch. Okay, and that is all that you need to repeat, literally that all the way around every time until it is as big as you want it to be. So I will show you one more round now, and then hopefully you'll be able to carry on as needed. So always turn your work and you'll be working straight into a chain 1 space. If you haven't got a chain 1 space here, it means you've forgotten to do your chain 1 before you did your slip stitch. So just undo and make sure that you put your chain 1 before you close off for each round. So straight into the chain 1 space, double crochet, chain 1. Always mark your first stitch if you're not sure. And straight away we're at corner space now, so I'll create my new corner. So your corner spaces will always be the same, you'll just be adding stitches down your straight sides. Always remember your chain 1, and then double into your chain 1 space, chain 1, double in your chain 1 space, chain 1, lots of chains, and then again work your corner, all in that same space, chain 1, chain 1, and then double crochet in your chain 1 space down your straight sides. And as I say, your corners are always the same. So it is such a simple, repetitive pattern, but I just love the effect that you get with the moss stitch. It doesn't matter whether you're using single colour yarn, variegated yarn, cotton yarn, acrylic, it's just, it seems to work wonderfully no matter what your choice of or colours of materials. Okay, so we're pretty much back where we started from. I've completed my final corner. You can see we've got one chain 1 space here to work into. So I've done my chain 1, I'll do my double crochet. Always remember that final chain 1, and then skip your last double crochet stitch, which is here, and slip stitch to the top of the first double of the round. Hopefully you've marked it. No, I forgot. Okay, so that is all that you will need to do to repeat over and over again. And you can see it stays perfectly square. There is no twisting. It doesn't matter how big your project gets, it will be perfectly square the whole time. It is the turning each round that is absolutely key to keeping this square. So there we go, that is how we look. It actually looks really beautiful in this stone washed yarn. Which is probably why I like it in the batik, because they're quite similar in the way that they work up. So again, I really hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, please remember to give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment as well, and I will see you again soon for another tutorial. But thank you as always for watching, and bye for now.